Uh, I don't know what to say tonight that hasn't already been said. What's up, everybody? Justin back for the channel, and boy, just I guess if there is one phrase that you can use to summarize tonight, it'll be two words: hot garbage. Hot garbage. The Miami Marlins lose once again to the Atlanta Braves, again in Truist Park. Same story, different day when I put it on the thumbnail for last night's recap. Same story, different day. And that's exactly what you could use tonight. Because this offense, I'm going to get into it in a second, but this team has to fire. We keep saying fire Clayton, fire McCullough. He needs to go. And while I do believe that has to happen, there's one other guy that has to get kicked out immediately. Pedro Guerrero, excuse me. Pedro Guerrero is the hitting coach for the Marlins. Pedro Guerrero needs to get fired. Because the offense that we're seeing, that we have been seeing, ever since the start of July, has been anemic and inconsistent as all hell. 3 hits tonight. 3. 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Why did we have to wait until the 5th inning for us to get a hit? Shout out Jacob Marcy, by the way, because Marcy was pretty much the only person doing anything today. Went 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. So shout out to him. Shout out Jacob Marcy. Everyone else is silent. Heriberto Hernandez, Kyle Stowers, Xavier Edwards, Otto Lopez, Sanoa. Sanoa had a hit, I think, but it doesn't matter, man. Owen Casey. Oh my God. Gone. 7 Marlins today went hitless. They went hitless. 7 Marlins today went hitless. You can't win baseball games when you only get 3 hits, man. How many at-bats is there in regular 9 innings? 27? Or no, never mind. That's stupid. You get 27 outs. How do you get only 3 hits in that entire 27-out span? It doesn't make any sense to me. And this is where I go to Pedro Guerrero again. Pedro Guerrero, I don't know what the hell he's doing, but like I said, he has to get fired. Because all of our struggles at the plate, in the batter's box, this is coaching. This is coaching, guys. And specifically, I wanted to bring up Kyle Stowers. Kyle Stowers 0 for 4. I'm actually going to pull up the stat sheet, or at least the final box score on my phone. But Kyle Stowers is so impatient at the plate, and so is everybody else. I can't remember, but oh my God, I'm blanking out right now. Bryce Elder, yes. Bryce Elder, the Atlanta Braves pitcher, as I pull up the box score, I think he only had like 40 pitches through the first 4 innings or something like that. It was a very low, very, I think it was like 40-something pitches through 5 innings. I could be wrong. I forgot. But needless to say, it was a very low pitch count through, 4 or 5 innings. We did not make him work at all today. We did not make him work at all, man. We did not make him work at all, man. And this is on coaching. Pedro Guerrero has to get fired because he's basically teaching these guys to be so impatient at the plate, and we're not working counts, we're not making the opposing pitchers work, and what you get is an absolute disaster. An absolute disaster. So I pulled up the box score. Xavier Edwards 1 for 4. Kyle Stowers 0 for 4. Otto Lopez 0 for 4. What the hell happened to Otto Lopez, man? Griffin Conine, 0 for 4. Ediberto Hernandez 0 for 4. Owen Casey 0 for 3. Jacob Marcy 1 for 2. Joe Mack 0 for 2. Oh wait, I said Jacob Marcy 0 for 2. Jacob Marcy 1 for 2. I'm sorry. All the numbers are getting mixed up in my head looking at this. But Marcy 1 for 2. Joe Mack 0 for 2. Javi went 1 for 3, and of course, because this franchise loves Augustin Ramirez, we had to see Augustin Ramirez get one at bat, and you could guess what happened. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. It's just bad, man. It's just bad. It's just. And you know what's funny? Is like they're not even learning anything. You would think from a day-to-day basis, right? You would think, okay, we were impatient at the plate last night, and we've been impatient at the plate. Ground outs, fly outs, strikeouts. Shouldn't we just go back to what we were doing? Working counts? Because there was a time this season when we were being patient at the plate. Like how you're supposed to be. Remember, baseball is a sport that is based on patience. Even for fans. The game is slow for a reason. You gotta have patience. Patience, patience, patience. Patience, patience, patience. If I'm a hitting coach, that's the one thing, that is the number one thing that I would always hammer down. I would be saying patience relentlessly, like a mother telling their kids to do something right. You know how moms, they usually get on their kids, especially for Hispanic moms like myself, they get on kids, to not make the same mistake over and over again, or and they hammer down the same point over and over and over again like a broken record. That was what I would be doing if I was a Major League Baseball hitting coach with my hitters. Patience, patience, patience. Work counts. Draw walks. And then strike when you get the pitch that you like. But don't be taking 2 swings early in the count, swings and misses, and then you strike out or you fly out or whatever the case may be. It's just bad offense. Yeah, man. Owen Casey. Kyle Stowers. It's either with him, it's either a home run ball or a strikeout. He struck out twice today. It's bad, man. It's bad. How many strikeouts? 6 strikeouts today. It's actually surprising. I'm not gonna lie. I thought we struck out more. But then again, I also saw a lot of ground outs as well, so I'm not that surprised. As a matter of fact, how many ground outs did we have today? Let's see that. I'm looking at the box score right now. Oh, it says it right. Bryce Elder had 9 today. 10 ground outs and 7 flyouts. So 10 ground outs and 7 flyouts. So it is what it is. Now, other than the offense, what I think of the pitching tonight, Eury Perez, he's only been in the majors for 4 years, so he's still extremely young into his career. But even in this short time frame, he has struggled mightily against the Braves, especially on the road in Atlanta. Because I wrote it down. I wrote it down. I did the research prior to tonight, but his career stats coming into tonight, which is only 2 games. But in those 2 games in Atlanta's Truist Park, he has tossed and posted a 17.47 ERA, 11 earned runs, 5 home runs, and a posted batting slash line of 483, 516, and 1003. I'm just going to say 1003 for slugging percentage. 1.103. So yeah, those are just disgusting, ugly numbers today. For what it's worth, he had the best start of his career in Atlanta. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, 61 strikes on 91 pitches. Obviously his best start in Atlanta, like I said, but that's not saying a whole lot because he was the one who gave up all of the runs that the Braves scored today. Both of all 4 happening in the second and third innings. It was Austin Riley, Drake Baldwin, and Mauricio Dubon who ended up driving in all 4 runs, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it happened in the second and third innings. Rough 2-inning stretch for him there. But gotta give him credit. He was able to settle down and get through the 4th and 5th innings today. He had trouble with his sinker in typical Eury Perez fashion. Again, I've talked about it before. Extremely talented pitcher. Definitely a starting caliber major league pitcher, starting pitcher. I think everybody can agree with that. But let's be honest, man. He continues to have struggle with his command. Not everything was working today. Particularly the sinker. The sinker, I look back on Christina Di Nicola's Twitter account. And she posted the graph. Oh my god, dude. Eury Perez's sinker today. That was going. It's like almost every sinker he threw was landing in the, I guess, the top right corner of the strike zone. Or top left, according to the graph. But he was just missing pitches, missing sinkers, high in the zone, high and away in the zone. Like, I guess fine. Interesting to note, though, that Eury Perez is already nearing, or he's already nearly matching the amount of earned runs he gave up all in July just in this one game. Like I said, 4 earned runs allowed by Perez tonight. He only gave up 6 earned runs in the entire month of July. So that is like, it's crazy. And also, by the way, this was his shortest start since returning from the IL on June 24th. 5 innings. It's not good enough. You can't only toss 5 innings, Eury. But he was missing a lot of the strike zone today with that sinker. He depended on that a lot too, so that's why he, could only go 5 innings. But yeah, he gives up the 7 hits, only goes 5, gives up the 4 earned runs, but the 9 strikeouts, I guess, kind of makes up for that in a way. It's kind of like a silver lining, if you will. And this was a step forward for him in terms of pitching in Atlanta, because we all know, like I said, he has not had success in Atlanta. So at least this is a step in the right direction for him. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Calvin Fauché, he pitched a perfect ninth, and he ended up getting 3 strikeouts. I mean, not a perfect ninth. Oh my god, a perfect 6th. I read that so wrong. Yeah, he pitched a perfect 6th inning, 3 strikeouts. But I only bring that up mainly because in that 6th inning, one of those strikeouts is one of the weirdest strikeouts that I've ever seen, and Colin mentioned it on his short as well. Joe Mack. This was like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon from Joe Mack today, because this particular strikeout, he doesn't catch the ball. I forgot who was batting for Atlanta, but a swing and a miss. But the strikeout is recorded not with Mac's glove, but with his face mask. The ball just got stuck in his face mask as the Atlanta Brave batter swung and missed, which is hilarious. And also, by the way, in the third inning, Mauricio Dubon was batting for the Braves, and Ayudi throws the pitch. Joe Matt catches the ball. He catches the pitch. He gets up. He's gonna try to throw. He's gonna try to throw. He's gonna try to throw out the runner who's advancing from second to third. And bro, he it was like he just threw a laser, but it made contact with, oh my god, I spit everywhere. I'm laughing so much. Joe Mack throws the ball throws the ball to third, and it bounces off of it bounces off of Dubon's helmet, and then it flies deep into foul territory down the left field line, man. I just, oh my god, I have never cracked up so much in a game in my life, bro. When I saw that ball hit Dubon in the helmet, and then when I saw the ball ricochet deep down the left field line in foul territory, I lost it. I was cracking up. I lost it, man. I wish it was on Twitter, but of course Twitter kind of fails me when I need it the most. But man, if I find that on there, I'm definitely gonna do something with that in an edit or something. I have to, dude. It was hilarious. I've never seen a catcher in my life, that I'm telling you, I've never seen this before. I've never seen a catcher throw to third base and the ball ricochets off the batter's helmet and just just flies into foul territory. Oh my god, it was just hilarious, man. Luckily, that didn't hurt the Marlins at all. Michael Harris, who was at second, was forced to remain there. But anyway, yeah, Calvin Fauché, and of course the strikeout that he caught with his face mask was hilarious too. So, funny day from Joe Mack. Joe Mack, hilarious. You know what? Just for that, he's the MVP of today's game. He made me crack up. But Cade Gibson, he pitched a perfect seventh. And Josh Eknes, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. In the eighth inning, Josh Eknes returned for the first time since May 13th. And he pitched a perfect eighth inning, nothing given up. So good job by Josh Eknes. And also, even though this is not with the pitching, maybe this is just me, but it seemed like the defensive gaps were so massive today. Like, the Braves recorded 10 hits. I want to say about 5 or 6 of those were hit through large gaps in the infield. It was like there was no defense. I don't know if we lined up and, in a special way today. I don't know. Because to be honest with you, I don't really pay attention to defensive formations in the infield, at least how they line up. But it's something that I'm always missing, unfortunately. But it kind of seemed like the gaps today were so big that the Braves could have hit beach balls and they still would have been base hits. I mean, it's just, wow. Like, where was the defense today? But anyway, with that being said, what does this loss mean? Well, I actually did the research today, like I promised yesterday. So, this is the 5th straight series loss for the Marlins against the Braves. The 5th straight series loss against the Braves. The last time the Marlins won a series against Atlanta was back in late June of 2025, so last June. But it gets worse. Truist Park, which is the home ballpark of the Braves, opened back in 2017. So I decided to go back and I wanted to take a look at our all-time record at Truist Park since 2017. The Marlins have gone 23-59 in Truist Park since 2017, which is good enough for a disgusting 3.56 winning percentage. I mean, that is brutal. But it gets worse. Remember how I said in last night's recap that I would go back and research our record against the Braves since the start of the 21st century? Well, guess what? Since 2000, the Marlins have gone 180 and 274 against Atlanta. 180 wins and 274 losses. Good enough for a putrid 2.52 winning percentage. I apologize if you hear a garbage truck outside of my house right now. It's passing by the neighborhood. I apologize. But yeah, a 2.52 winning percentage. It's just like, how? But it gets worse than that. This is also, believe it or not, the 12th straight season series loss to the Braves. We haven't won a season series against Atlanta since we went 10-9 against them in 19 games back in 2014. So a 12-year drought of a season series win against the Braves. That is ineptitude at its finest. That is ineptitude at its finest. There is nothing else you could say, dude. How can you be that bad? How can you be that bad against a divisional opponent that you see 19, 20 games a year? How? How can you be that bad? I don't understand it. Like, I get it. The Marlins have not been a successful franchise. The Marlins have usually been a perennial bottom feeder, a perennial loser. But my God, 12 straight years of not even winning a season series against your arguably your biggest rival? What the hell is wrong with you, Marlins? Seriously, what the hell is wrong with you? Anyway, as I end this off tonight, I'll say that yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Atlanta is literally our graveyard, man. Atlanta is our graveyard. I hate Atlanta. I really do. And you know what? I hate Atlanta so much that I never want to visit the city. Because I'm afraid that if I visit the city of Atlanta, that I will become cursed like the Marlins when they go to Atlanta. I'm sorry, but I don't want to get cursed. I don't want some bad juju against my skin if I visit Atlanta. I'm sorry, Atlanta. I don't want to be I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I love your hip hop culture, but my God, man, I can't. I can't. So anyway, with this loss, I think we're still 2.5 games behind Arizona for the last playoff spot in the National League. Yeah, and that's it. That's it, guys. That's it. That's it. That is all I have for today. So yeah. So please remember, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to share and subscribe. And if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Bye.